Alright, so welcome back guys, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 trailer breakdown. So if you haven't seen it already, definitely check out part 1. And if you're into the Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way to miss any more Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead content from me in the future. Now let's begin. Now, picking off where I left off in my part 1 breakdown, we start off with another shot of a bunch of walkers. Now, it's dark, but I think I can tell that they look like they're chained up or got collars or leashes on them like the ones we previously saw. So, it looks like whatever's going on with the villains or some kind of threat, it has something to do with these walkers with like these like leashes or chains on them. So, I'm curious to see what goes on there. Then we got this shot of our group holding down this woman. Now, I can't tell if that's Luciana or not. It might be, but I can't really tell. They look like they're screaming, or maybe they're in pain. Maybe they got bit and they're trying to amputate the limb. I don't know. It's very curious. Not much else to go off of that shot. It's very vague, and if you blink, you'll miss it shot. I happened to catch it in the trailer rewatching it. Then we got this shot here, John Dory in town. We see him drop his bag, and he starts firing off at a bunch of walkers. Now, I'm very curious to see what goes on with John this season. I really like this scene, like him being the cowboy walking into town. Very cool, especially since it got like a western vibe. But then you got this shot here of him after he shoots down those walkers. He turns around and he's being held at gunpoint by someone. Now, we don't get to see this person's faces. Now, I know people are predicting it's Troy. I honestly do not believe it's Troy. I think Troy's coming back in a flashback. I swear to God, if he ends up being alive, I'm going to lose my shit and probably turn off Fear right away. Because I think bringing Troy back from the dead is the stupidest and most idiotic choice they would ever make. Especially since we saw his skull being broken in half pretty much. Like, no way. If they bring Troy back, that's like the end of the line for Fear for me. I'm done with Fear. Honestly, I feel like this probably could be the new villain. Maybe it's has something to do with Daniel. I don't know. I'm curious to see what goes on with this scene. I don't think he's going to die. I know I mentioned that I think one of them, him or June, is going to die, but I don't think it's here. I'm just curious to see how this scene plays out. Then we get a shot of Sarah, and she's, I guess, talking, like, in a sense, to Jim, in a sense, in heaven or whatever. And she says, you missed a hell of a day. And I really like that scene. It's just something that we don't see a lot in The Walking Dead, where they acknowledge past characters that have died and actually talk to them like they're there. I really like that scene for that reason, and it's just very cool and different because, like I said, we don't see it that often, and I just like the recognition of the past characters being mentioned after they're dead. We got this shot here of Morgan showering. Now, I'm predicting this has something to do with the radioactive walkers. Now, during this time, we also get a voiceover of him, I'm presuming, talking to Alicia about how they can't find people on the radio and how if it's hard, that means they're doing the right thing. Now, I already touched on that. I kind of got these places mixed up. So I'm going to go back and talk about what he said to Annie at that point earlier where I screwed up, because he did say something very important to Annie about how you can't always put a weapon in between yourself and an adversary. So I think that they're going to put Morgan in a mentor role for the first couple episodes, maybe towards the mid-season finale, at which point he'll be the full-fledged leader, and then I'll have his own mentor character, his own dynamic ally, and then I'm predicting it a love interest. I have a whole video coming out predicting his love interest, and this trailer even confirmed even more predictions for who I think Morgan's love interest could be. Then we got June here looking, I can't tell, she's like shocked or sad or something. Again, I'm going back to, I think one of John Dory or June is going to die this season. Even here at these photos, you see them happy together. I feel like they're just way too happy for a Walking Dead show. I don't believe that both these people are going to survive. I think one of them is definitely going to probably die in this season. I'm predicting John Dory is going to be Morgan's dynamic ally, so I really don't think it's going to be him. I honestly think it's going to be June, but we do see him talk here about how, he has all the luck in the world. I think that's going to come back to bite him in the butt, and I think June is I think June is going to be the one to die. Like I said, I think John Dory's Morgan's dynamic ally, And I think right now, as it stands, I think Alicia's going to be his mentor, kind of. And then I got a whole video coming up again about his love interest. I'm just curious to see what they do with those characters, because I think that's a very interesting role to fit. And I'm curious to see how they fit these roles. I'm pretty sure I know who the dynamic ally and mentor roles are going to be, but I'm not sure who the love interest is going to be yet. And we got this next shot here of Morgan and Al hugging. Now I know fans will just probably brush this off as, maybe they got separated and they're reuniting. I hope that's not the case. I don't want our group to be separated again. However, I have a theory that Al might be Morgan's love interest. I don't know. I just got a feeling that it could be her or Grace. I'll go into a whole video about it later. But I don't know. It just feels weird. I'm curious to see, especially since Al doesn't really have a purpose right now. I think her being Morgan's love interest could be an interesting kind of story for her to go down. Plus, I'd be interested to see Morgan with a love interest. He's definitely most likely going to get a love interest this season. Then we got this shot here of Alicia talking about Madison and how she always, wanted to make a place and keep it standing. I really like that scene though. It just builds off her character, and again, bringing up dead characters that are alive, we don't see our characters talk about dead characters. So I like the fact that they're bringing up Jim and Morgan, or Madison, so I really like that. Then we got this shot here of, I think it's Alicia smiling, which is I really like that because we haven't seen her smile in a while. I think not since, she did, I think, smile at the end of one of the episodes the last season, but it looks like maybe they're doing something where she's actually happy now. So I really hope they're going down that route with her and we get something new with her. I know a lot of Alicia fans are pissed off that she was sidelined from Morgan. Like lack of a better word, we're in a world now where Fear the Walking Dead is now led by Morgan. And they needed to do that. Alicia was never going to be able to carry the show, so they had to do Morgan. But I really do think that hopefully they have a good setup where Alicia can at least have enough screen time. Again, I'm predicting she's going to be his mentor, so I think she'll get a decent amount of screen time, and the two of them will have a lot of interactions this season. Then we got this shot here of, I think it's John Dory playing with a radio. Now, there are a lot of fan theories regarding what's going on with the radio on the main show, and now that we see the radio here, I don't know. This could just have something to do with them looking for people or whatever. I don't think it's going to have any connections to the OG show or the Rick Grimes movies. I don't know. I'm interested to see what goes on here again. I feel like it's silly that they'd be on radios again after everything that happened with Martha. I don't know. It just seems silly to me that they'd risk being on radios again after everything with last season. Maybe that'll be like a mini plot, like maybe they're trying to figure out if they should or not. I don't know. Then we got this shot here from of our group, and it looks like they're about to face off against a herd of walkers. Not much else to go off of here. I like the blood stain on Alicia's face. It does give me some Lexa vibes from the 100. I really, really hope they don't try to do that with Alicia this season. I want Alicia and Lexa to be two separate characters, and I don't want them to be like copying anything from the 100 with Alicia. Keep Lexa and keep Alicia two separate characters. I swear to God, if they make Alicia bi or lesbian, I'm gonna lose my shit because that's gonna really annoy me because it just feels like they're just trying to copy the 100. And I don't like it when shows do that. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about Alicia for this upcoming season. Then we got this shot here of someone standing in a hazmat suit. Looks like they're checking for radiation. So this probably goes into more confirm the whole radiation storyline within the Fear the Walking Dead. I think that's a curious thing to see happen. I know some fans are thinking they're going to go down a cure route with this. I really hope they don't. And if they were smart, they wouldn't. A cure just kills both Fear and the Walking Dead in the water, so I don't think they're going to do that. Then we got this shot here of a walker, and it looks like they have some radiation on them. It looks different than most walkers we see. Now, it could just be, this walker just got into something that just made him look different. But I think it's just too obvious. I think this walker has to be a radioactive walker. And I'm curious to see how they deal with that, how they kill a radioactive walker. Because think about it, if you destroy the brains, there's going to be stuff on your weapon or whatever. When you touch it to clean it, you're going to get radiation on you. So I think that's an interesting thing to see how they're going to deal with that. Then, of course, we get to the end of the trailer, what everybody was waiting for, and we got them at night at some kind of like warehouse or building, and we got Morgan standing out there, just where I guess they had just cleared out or something. And then we get the moment where we see Dwight for the first time. Now, I really liked how they handled Dwight in the trailer. They didn't shove him in the front row and say, "Oh, look, Dwight's here." I am so glad they didn't do that. That would have just annoyed me so much. They did that with Morgan last season, but I get it because they wanted to make him the new lead. But if they did that again with Dwight, that would have just annoyed me. I know fans were upset we didn't get any Troy. I think that just again proves that he's a flashback or hallucination or something. I swear to God, again, if they bring back Troy and he's alive, I'm gonna like legit lose my shit and turn off the show right away because that will annoy me. But we get Dwight again. He meets up with Morgan, of course, here. Now, the one thing that I didn't really like about this scene, and I feel like fans are gonna say I'm nitpicking, is that they recognize each other. Okay, sure they might have known each other from the war. Sure they might have recognized each other, but they never shared any screen time together. So I don't believe that they would know like name wise each other. I feel like it would make more sense if Dwight came out and said, "Oh, you look familiar from someplace," and then maybe it took Morgan a minute or two to put two and two together, and then he's like, "Oh, you're Dwight from from the Saviors or whatever." Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like the first time, like they didn't really even share too much screen time. Maybe during the finale of season 7 and finale of season 8, but they never, other than that, shared any screen time. Did they share? Did they even see each other during the episode where they attacked the hilltop? I don't even remember that. Like, but that just I feel like that's just convenient that they recognize each other. I don't think they really should. I feel like they're just doing that for fan service. But then you got Alicia and June here, and June asks if, they know each other, and Morgan pretty much says, "Yeah, I did." Now, fine, I'm gonna be okay with it. It just annoys me. I feel like it's just too much of a coincidence that they know each other. Overall, though, I feel like this trailer was very good. They did some good things. I know a lot of fans didn't like season 4 of Fear. I liked the first half. The second half was more weak to me, especially with Martha. I wasn't sure. I know I didn't finish my season 4 reviews. At this point I might not. I might just do retro reviews of them moving forward. However, as of right now, they definitely pulled me in with Fear. I think Fear had a good trailer. For me, Fear had a better trailer than The 100, and I'm curious to see where they take Fear. I'm definitely going to be reviewing it to the best of my ability. So if you're interested in those kind of videos, definitely stay tuned because I'll be having a lot more Fear videos coming up leading up to the premiere, as well as reviews for Fear. So definitely stay tuned if you're interested in Fear the Walking Dead. So yeah, guys, that's part 2 of my Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 trailer breakdown. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way to miss any more Fear the Walking Dead content from me in the future. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.